The next day, as Cuffy had said, there was a lot of work to be done. Everyone seemed to be going someplace with a chair. The piano was to stay where it was until after Christmas because of family carol singing, but everything else had to go back in its place. Willie and Rush had to dismantle and store the scenery, and then clean and wax the floor. Randy and Mona washed endless sticky punch cups and glasses, endless dishes and cookie plates and pitchers, but they did it willingly, standing side by side at the kitchen sink and saying little. Each was lost in a golden haze of memory. Every now and then one of them would break the silence with a rapt voice. "They liked the part where Oliver trips over his sword, didn't they? Remember how they laughed?" "It was wonderful." A little later, "The phosphorescent moon was a great success, don't you think? You could just hear them gasp. It was perfect." And before they knew it, before they even realized that they had been working for a long time, everything was washed and put away. The floor was mopped, the dishcloths rinsed and hung to dry beside the stove. "It might interest you to know, ladies," said Rush, bursting through the swinging door, "it might just possibly interest you to know that Father and I have just counted the receipts, and we find we're the possessors of $26.75. $26.75. Almost enough to buy a bond and a half. It was a proud moment. The next day after breakfast, Father asked Mona to come into the study. He was quite formal about it, and Mona wondered if she had done anything wrong. "Please sit down," said Father elegantly, motioning to a chair. She sat down and folded her hands. Father laughed. "Don't look so worried. You're not going to be scolded." He picked up his special paperweight that was shaped like a lady's hand and examined it as though he had never seen it before. "Mona," said Father at last, "you really set your heart on being an actress, haven't you?" "Of course, Father." Mona looked surprised. About that there had never been any doubt, not since the time Mother had taken her to a matinee of Peter Pan when she was 6. "You know it's hard work, don't you? You know you have to be better than good at it, or you might as well give up. You know you have to keep odd hours, work at night, sleep half the day, do the same thing, say the same words over and over and over again. Above all, you have to try to remain a real person in spite of all the imaginary people you are playing." "Yes, Father," said Mona automatically. What was all this leading to, anyway? "I realize those things, and I don't care. I still want to be an actress." Father nodded his head a little wearily. "Yes, I know. You really mean it, don't you? All right, then. How would you like to begin your career right now?" "Now?" repeated Mona, bewildered. "Now? Father, what do you mean?" "One of the people who came out with Mrs. Oliphant the day of the play is a radio director. He thinks he may have a part for you in one of his new radio serials, the part of a younger sister in a family play." "You mean I'd be a professional, a real actress on the radio?" cried Mona. "If you get the part," said Father. "You're going to go to New York with Cuffy after New Year's and have an audition. If you make good, you'll go into town twice a week for your broadcast. I believe the salary is quite generous." "Oh, I'd do it free," Mona said. "I'd do it for nothing if they wanted me to." "It won't be necessary. But one thing, Mona, you're very young to be doing this kind of work. If you make good, do you think I can count on you to keep your head? We don't want any junior prima donnas temperamenting around the house." "Oh, Father, I promise, I swear I won't be like that. I'll be good as an angel. I'll even darn Rush's socks without complaining. I'll play basketball at school. I'll wash all the stickiest, greasiest saucepans as if I loved it. I'll eat whole bales of spinach. I'll do anything. You'll see how good I'll be." "If you get the part," added Father. But Mona knew she'd get the part. She went out of the study and out of the house. Her galoshes might have been thistledown. Her coat might have been made of air. Her feet didn't feel the earth beneath them. Her hands didn't feel the surfaces they touched. She was in a state of bliss. Slowly, like a sleepwalker, She floated down to the brook. The pool above the falls was frozen solid, closed in a shell of clear black ice. Under it she could see the packed rows of little fish lying fast asleep. How beautiful they were! "Oh, brook," said Mona aloud, in a quavery voice. "Oh, fish, I think I'm really going to be an actress at last."